I'm disgusted. This is for pretend ALOT narcissist. Okay, and this is wasting my energy. Why? My whole life was wasted. Why? I was suicidal. Because I was traumatized ever since I can remember. And one of what happened and me being traumatized, I was child molested to death. And pretend ALOT narcissist tries to make a joke out of it. Well, if you were traumatized to death, then you didn't die, you made it, didn't you? So, I had kids. I got a crazy check, and that crazy check, right, went for child support. And that's what the father of my two children said. Arthur has not the third. And it did. But I never ever got any help. Because if I would have moved out of my house when my kids were small, if I would have been able to, there's an agency that worked with my mom the whole time that my dad leaked out. Because my kid was harmed the way they harmed them. So she worked with my mom the whole time. So I would have, I could have been able to move out in the Section 8 housing with my kids. This one woman lived in a house nearby me. I was like 4 blocks away. $50. $50 a month. Yeah, I could have afforded that with my little tiny SSDI check that was only $500 a month. What, $50? Stay somewhere? Wow, I would have had $450 a month to go buy if I wanted, clothes, but you can get clothes for free. I would have had food stamps for me and my kids. Wow. But the agency would have stopped me from being able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to do that. But pretend ALOT narcissist doesn't care at all about me. He never ever cared that I never had any money. He always lied like, his best friend, which was my mom. Oh, she has it so good. Oh, she has everything that she could possibly need. There was a beautiful black lady. She was disgusted from what she saw. She's like, what the hell's going on here? She was like, you're trapped in that house, ain't you? She's like, I bet you right now you can't even go down to the store and buy yourself a 50-cent bag of chips for yourself, can you? You can't even do that, can you? That would be my main point to pretend ALOT narcissist. In fact, I'm gonna leave a message on his answering machine. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to go down to the corner store to buy a bag of chips for 50 cents when my kids were like 3 and 5. Can you? Can you do that? She's like, this is disgusting. She's stealing your whole government check. Do you realize how much help you could be getting right now? No, I didn't have any help. I would have needed her help. I'm sheltered my whole life. I'm a victim that I can't do anything. And I didn't know I was a victim to the agency that helped out my mom. I would never have been able to try to go out on my own. I was stopped at everything, to try to do anything this whole time. So, proof that I could never get a 50-cent bag of chips is when late Arthur has not the third decided to try to move in my mom's house. She opened him up with open arms. Oh yeah, all the money that she got. Oh my God, of course. They were at the grocery store. Okay, when they were at the grocery store, all I wanted was a simple can of soup. And I'm not sure. I don't remember the soup that I wanted. It was not much more than $1 back then, 2010. Okay. It couldn't have been more. I don't know what soup it was anymore, okay? It could have been, I used to eat baked bean soup, Campbell. It's just a simple little can of soup. I don't know what it was. Wasn't chicken noodle, but who knows what the soup actually was. So long ago, I don't know. And that's all I wanted to be put in the grocery cart. And, of course, I wasn't allowed to get that can of soup, just like I wouldn't have been allowed to get a little bag of potato chips down at the store. I was that pissed off. Arthur's living in the house. I'm not sure. I don't think I was kicked out of the house yet. Where my children lived in 2010. I wasn't kicked out of the house yet. Oh, yeah, and that man ruined my life. Yeah. Arthur Hesnot III ruined my life, and he's allowed on her property, and I'm not, in 2010. Yeah, and I'm not allowed to have a tiny can of soup. Not allowed to ask for that. Not allowed to do anything. I just walked home from Giant on Columbia Avenue, going up to Columbia Avenue, sorry. When you go on the Columbia Avenue bus, it goes past. So that was a little shopping mall in that area where there's Giant and, I don't even know. Yeah, I never go shopping there, and I don't care. Is there a Taco Bell there? Yeah, there's a Taco Bell there on the corner, right, and Giant's in the back, just like where I used to live with my late husband, James Lester Sapone, and that would have been in the Walmart, the parking lot in the Walmart, okay, yeah, in the back, and there's a Taco Bell in the front. Alright, so I walked all the way home. That's about at least a mile walk, right? Well, my mom pretended to care and had my dad drive around looking for me, acting like they care. Like, what? I don't know how to get home? I'm an adult. You know, you insulted me. You can't even get me a little can of soup when you're getting all this, you know, you got all that money from me in the past from my crazy check, and now you're going to get more, you plan on getting more with the father of my 2 children, you can't buy me anything. Alright, so I walked home. And then they acted like they were all worried about me. Well, your dad went out and drove around for hours, and it's all bullshit. All bullshit. So, this is for Pretend ALOT Narcissist. I mean, how was I ever helped? But, yeah, I couldn't get a bag of chips from the store. My mom stole my whole check. I'm not even allowed to buy a bag of chips. I'm not even allowed to get a can of soup after she stole 11 years of my money. Being my pay representative. Pretend ALOT Narcissist never cared about me. He never cared that I had money. Telling everybody, she gets everything that she ever wanted. Oh, she does everything. Everything. Like what? Yeah, I didn't have one thing. I never ever could, I got WIC checks when my kids were small. I couldn't use them, could I? Pretend ALOT Narcissist. No, I couldn't use them. The WIC checks. Oh, he wouldn't know anything about WIC checks. It's called milk and cheese, beans, cereal. It's cereal and milk. What young kids eat all the time. Could be formula. Yeah, I got all that for free. Eggs. Yeah, you get, And I couldn't even get them because I didn't have a way to the grocery store. So then all of Pretend ALOT Narcissist Demons goes and says, well, I never had a ride when I was your age. You're privileged by the government to get checks. You should have walked to the store, the grocery store, on the highway with your children. You should have walked to the grocery store. And God, you had no excuse. That's the way he treats me. And like, oh my God. So horrible. So, whatever, that's some of my hell. And then there's a lot more hell that happened in 2006. Couldn't live on the property. And, couldn't live on that property. And I was, I was going through major PTSD. Because the floodgates opened up for me being thrown up against the wall. I mean, major PTSD I went through in 2006. But again, Pretend ALOT Narcissists never cared about me. Ever. He never gave me $1. He left me stranded at that fish place, with my small kids, 3 and 5, and my neighbor, Craig Culligan, had to come out and pick me up in his Ghostbuster car, which was fine. I would have been stranded there, all because of Pretend ALOT Narcissists, just like my mom stranded me at the grocery store that I walked home from, that I couldn't buy a can of soup from. Well, she didn't leave me stranded. I decided to walk home. Whatever. She had all my money. And I'm not even allowed to get a little can of soup. Just like, if I would have been with Pretend ALOT Narcissists in the grocery store. Am I allowed to eat that? No, I have something better at home. No, I have, And, you get home with these miserable, insane abusers, and you think you're able to ask for something to eat? Like, they're going to allow you to eat allow you to have anything of theirs? I mean, that's just the way insane abusers operate. They're just forget it. You don't have a life. Living with an insane abuser, you just do not have a lot. You can't do anything. I'm not allowed to leave Pretend ALOT Narcissist building in 2019 when I was, God, just horrible. Horrible. I mean, how horrible is it when I'm allowed to walk to the grocery store? Maybe 3 weeks after I stay there. I don't even know. How am I supposed to remember? But I can't leave his site. But he allowed me to go to the grocery store because I couldn't eat his food, so I wanted to go out and buy my own, right? Peanut butter, pineapples, nuts, just to be able to survive. I needed something, so. He allowed me to go to the grocery store at night. They closed at 10. I was talking to these so-called Christians. I don't know if they're real Christians. Who knows? Even about Christianity, I have to look that up. It just doesn't make any sense because I know for a fact that Aaron Duckty is a New Ager, and he's so nice. he would never ever end up in a burning hell forever, because he could never ever harm a fly. Alright? So, I don't believe in eternal hell. Well, mainly because my children who are atheists would never ever go to hell, because they never committed such crimes as their grandparents did. So, and that's just the truth. Okay, I got off the subject. I'm just disgusted with my life. And pretend ALOT Narcissist for being such a fucking liar to me. All these years, no help at all. And he says, you know, why am I abusing him? I'm not. How am I abusing him? I'm just saying the truth. You don't give a shit about me. Yeah, he left me stranded at the fish place. And we went to Friendly's ice cream. He was so selfish. Selfish little brat. My kids are small. We want to go home. He wants to eat ice cream. I'll buy it. I had a $5 bill. Certainly didn't have food stamps back then. I'm not allowed. But I had a $5 bill somehow from my mom. And I'm like, let's go. And I can get a discount, you know, at the grocery store. Get a big tub of ice cream, at least for, probably $3. Yeah. Maybe if he chipped in, which he never did with me back then, that'd be another tub of ice cream, you know. God knows he's a hog when he decides to eat, and he can eat one himself. Me and my kids can share the other one. No, he had to force us to go to Friendly's with him. And he was such a hog. I only had $5, so I could only afford these $1.69 expensive sodas that could be refilled. And that's the only thing that Alex remembers. That he's forced to sit there and watch this ugly old man eat his food. And then he physically attacked me at Friendly's, flying across the table when I went to look at his receipt. Now, I had every right to look at that receipt. Because he forced us to sit there for how long? Way over a half hour. Because he wanted more food, you know. He could care less. You know, my kids are done with their sodas in 10 minutes. We're forced to sit there and watch that hog eat. He didn't give a fuck about us. So then I grab his receipt because I'm so mad to see how much it was, because he was making me pay for my kids' drinks. And he flew across the table and screamed, "How rude are you? Oh my God! Oh my God!" And the customers, the couple that was sitting right beside us, they all moved back. There was somebody behind him, somebody beside him at a table. They just picked up their plate and drank, and they just moved back behind him. And he didn't realize he was that bad. Yeah. And then at the end, then he decided to finally pay for their soda. But originally, his narcissistic mind, do you remember that wonderful, wonderful meal that we ate at Friendly's? Do you remember? Do you remember the wonderful time that we had at that fish place? You know, no, he doesn't remember anything. He's a narcissist. It's horrifying.